Apple has a great feature called Sidecar built into macOS and iPadOS that turns your iPad into a second display for your Mac, whether you want to run it wireless or you can also run it wired. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to set this up, the things that are nice about this, and also a couple of cons to this setup as well. On the Mac side, you're going to need a computer from 2016 or later with a couple of exclusions. I'll note all those on the screen. And with the iPad, you'll need an iPad running iPadOS 13 or later. This works with any iPad Pro, an iPad 6th generation or newer, an iPad mini 5th generation or newer, and it works with the iPad Air 3rd generation or later. There are a couple of extra requirements to making this work though, namely the fact that you need the same Apple account on both of these devices. You also need to have two-factor authentication turned on. Also on the wireless side, they need to be within 10 meters or 30 feet of each other. You need to have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and handoff all turned on within your system settings. So you can go to Wi-Fi, make sure it's on, go to Bluetooth, make sure that's on, and you can also go to the handoff settings, make sure those are all enabled as well. Also, your iPad can't be sharing a cellular connection, and your Mac can't be sharing an internet connection. If you want to use it in wired only, you just need to make sure as soon as you connect this, you tell the iPad it can trust the Mac. So all you have to do is hit yes on that. The fastest way to set this up is with Wi-Fi. So make sure that Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and handoff are all on both devices. And then on your Mac, go to Control Center, go to Screen Mirroring, and then find the iPad you're connecting to. So I'm connecting to M5 iPad Pro 11-inch, and this will actually turn the display on the iPad as well, which is super cool. That's all you got to do. Now your iPad is extending your display, so you can just drag windows over, which can be really nice if you want to watch a video on the side or have Finder open, have your email open on the side. Really anything. This just gives you a lot more screen real estate where you can view everything at the same time. There's a couple other settings you can change too, like you can hide the sidebar or show the sidebar on the iPad screen depending on if you want to have those shortcuts. And you can also enable the touch bar. I personally just leave both of those off because it gives you a little bit more space. If you want the screen to show exactly what your computer screen shows, then click Mirror Built-in Liquid Retina Display, and now all the same settings will be on both of these. This does come with the trade-off of getting rid of a little space on your laptop though. There's also another trade-off to using this wirelessly. It is really convenient that you can just do that, but it will drain your iPad's battery and your computer's battery fast, and you're going to hit the occasional lag depending on Wi-Fi or Bluetooth speed and interference. If you want zero lag and charging from the computer to the iPad at the same time, then all you got to do is connect your iPad to a Mac with the USB-C cable that came with your iPad. That one will work just fine. Or for my favorite USB cable, I'll have links to buy this in the description below. So all you got to do is plug that into the USB port on your iPad, not the port on the Magic Keyboard. That port won't actually work for this. It has to be the actual port on the iPad. Plug it into the port on the iPad and then plug it into one of the ports on your computer. And now you'll be running in this wired setting, which will work a little bit better with less latency. It's the same exact setup for this, just going to Control Center and screen mirroring. My honest take is if you have a cable laying around, just use the cable because this will give you rock solid connection and a topped off battery, charging it directly from your computer. And if you're worried about the battery life on your computer, you can just plug a charger into the side of your computer and then it'll transfer the power still through the USB port. So now that you've got this set up, what all can you do? If you use it in extended mode, you can move the windows across from one screen to the other. And if you need to change the arrangement of the displays, all you got to do is go to System Settings, scroll down to Displays, press Arrange, and you can move the iPad to the left or right side of your MacBooks, or you can also always put it on the top or bottom depending on the direction you want to move the mouse. Also, if you want to quickly move a window over to that second screen, you can just hover over the green and then click Move to M5 iPad Pro. That'll move it to the other screen and full screen it for convenience as well. That's also another way you can set this up if you don't feel like going to Control Center. When it's disconnected, just go to the green arrows, press Move to the iPad, and that'll start up the Sidecar mode. There's a couple of interesting limitations to know with Sidecar, namely the fact that if you got the Magic Keyboard on the iPad, you can still use it to type, but the trackpad doesn't actually control the computer's trackpad, which I find to be a little bit strange. For this setting, you need to use continuity mode where you're controlling the two devices separately with the same keyboard and mouse. There are a couple gestures you can use though, namely scrolling. You can swipe with two fingers still interact with the screen. You can copy something by pinching in with 3 fingers, and you can cut by pinching in with 3 fingers twice. You can paste by pinching out with 3 fingers. You can undo by swiping left with 3 fingers. You can redo by swiping right with 3 fingers. You can always switch back to using your iPad apps, even while Sidecar is on, just by swiping up. You'll go back to your iPad menu, do whatever you want with your iPad apps, and then just press this Sidecar button in the bottom right, and then you'll go right back to using Sidecar again. People do mix up Sidecar and universal control, and it's important to know the difference between them, because Sidecar is just for turning your iPad into a Mac display and a keyboard. You're looking at the same exact Mac desktop and apps. You can drag them over to the iPad screen. Universal control lets you use one keyboard and mouse to control both of the devices, but your iPad keeps showing its home screen and you're actually using the apps on the iPad. So if you want a second Mac screen, you want Sidecar. If you want to drag files back and forth between each device running its own interface, that's universal control. So Sidecar is great if you want extra real estate for editing without buying a secondary monitor, because all the iPad displays are very color accurate. And you can also use it as a pressure sensitive drawing tablet in some applications like Photoshop or Illustrator. It's also great as a secondary view for reference material while you're working on your main screen. You can also use it as a portable setup to give you a little bit more space to work if you're on the go or at a coffee shop, especially for video editing software where it's nice to have one screen with a timeline and one to access all your reference points as well. Just be aware this will drain your iPad's battery faster. Plan on using a power bank or plugging your computer into the wall for long sessions. And also, if you switch to an iPad app, it's going to pause the whole Sidecar session. And there can also be that latency if you use it in wireless mode. So for the best results, be sure to use a cable. I'll have links for my favorite USB-C cable, my favorite power banks, and chargers, all in the description below. So Sidecar may have just been sitting in your settings this whole time doing nothing, but now you know how to use it. A free secondary display just using the iPad you already have. So give it a shot. Let me know what you think of it. This may be a game changer for you and your setup, whether you're using it at home or on the go. If you learned something from this video, give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more Mac tips.